DMAIC and DMADV. In this lecture, we will find out with regards to the tools and strategies commonly utilized in Six Sigma projects. A significant number of these tools and techniques have been utilized by quality experts and applied analysts for quite a long time. Six Sigma formalizes the utilization of the tools inside the DMAIC and DMADV project management methodology. So, before we start the discussion on Six Sigma approach for business excellence, we need to understand the two fundamental perspectives: DMAIC and DMADV. Now, a simple question arises. That is there a process available for the project? Or do we have to develop a process or a product? Depending on this, if the process already exists, we shall follow the DMAIC methodology. And if the process does not exist, we shall follow DMADV. DMAIC methodology. DMAIC methodology has 5 distinct phases. First is the define phase. In this phase, most important is the selection of the performance criteria critical for meeting the customer specification and requirements. So, we define the expected outcomes and boundaries. The second phase is called the measure phase. In this phase, we create and validate the measurement system. The third phase is called analyze phase. In this phase, we identify the sources of variations and their interdependability upon each other. This phase gives insight for implementing the actions. The fourth phase of the DMAIC methodology is called improvement. The steps for improvements are to maintain gains and help ensure corrective actions are taken for all the X's so that the project's Y's are addressed. Here we also discover process relationships and establishments of new procedures for a better result. The last and the fifth phase is called the control phase. In this phase, we control and monitor the implemented improvements to maintain gains. DMADV methodology. DMADV methodology has 5 distinct phases. The first phase is called the define phase. In this phase, we recognize and initiate the project. Also, we detail the scope and the plan for the entire project. The next phase is called the measure phase. In this phase, we understand the customer needs and decide on the critical to quality aspects of those needs. Next is analyze phase. Conceptual designs are developed and high-level designs are made for first high-level verification and validation. This part will depend on the type of development project we have taken. For example, if we have decided to develop an electric two-wheeler, then we have to divide the project into multiple development projects, like battery, mudguard, a steering handle, chassis, etc. While we verify and validate the battery development, we may have to check with a structure just to support a battery and the motor, which may not be part of the final design at all. Next is design phase. In this phase, we shall do a detailed design for the new product and shall identify and detail the control plane. This control plan will help us understand the process for understanding the parameters at a later stage. Next, after we finalize the design of the individual units, we have to make a prototype, if required, and then implement the full-scale processes for total validation. DMAIC versus DMADV. Now let us understand when, where, and how to use these two methodologies. So now the very common phase in both the techniques is define. After defining, you need to ask that if a process already exists? If no, then we have to follow the DMADV route. And if yes, and the process already exists, we have to measure the existing process. After measuring, we have to analyze and ensure whether the process is in control. If the process is in control, then the question arises if it is capable. If not capable, then we improve, and then control. But if the process is capable, we skip to controlling. If the process is not in control, we find the cause and remove the cause. And then we'll have to ensure if it's capable after removing the causes, and then we improve and then control.
End of the session. To make the learning even more engaging, our research team has prepared a short quiz for you to test your understanding. You can find the link to the quiz in the description below. Take a few minutes to complete it and feel free to share it with your colleagues, friends and online mates. Before you go, don't forget to hit the bell icon. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Don't miss out on the latest insights. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.